Welcome to the program. Today I'm replacing Yvonne Nchaka, who is not feeling well. It's the usual program, the liquefied petroleum gas series, and today we are talking about installations. We have in the studio Kenny Murray. Murray, am I right?
It's Murray.
It's Murray. All right, thank you, Kenny Murray. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for taking me up today.
Right. Thank you. Kenny, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm an electrician and currently working as a Bosch technician, running around doing the installations for Bosch and taking care of the warranties and associated maintenance and services.
Okay, thank you. Now, coming to our first question, when talking about installations of appliances in the gas industry, which appliances are we referring to?
Here we'll be talking about LPG gas appliances, your hobs, mainly your freestanding stoves, which are a hot seller these days because of the current requirements and needing for cooking in the home. That's what sort of appliance we're talking about.
Right, thank you. Now, how can installations of these appliances promote safety in the LPG operation?
When we're talking about appliances and selecting them in particular, there are varied things that we look at. One of them is the safety of these appliances and how they are sold by the manufacturer and how they're manufactured. Some of them have safety features, some of them don't have, like our two-plate stoves that people find very easy to pick up. Those don't have very many safety features. That's why I think in our last program that we had with the fire department, you don't leave your appliance while you're cooking. Those two-plate stoves definitely require you to be standing close to the appliance. With the newer ones, we find that we've got safety features, which are found on the top of the burner and inside the oven. This is called a thermocouple. That one makes sure once the flame goes out for any reason, the gas shuts off. So these appliances are the ones that we call safe. But generally, gas in itself for use is absolutely safe and clean.
Now, given the maybe rise in the use of gas in the country, can you maybe give us what the situation is like in terms of installations?
Okay, this one is, there's a lot of things that are happening on the ground. Lots of buildings going up, residential areas. People are not yet aware of certain bylaws that are requested by ZERA and also the fire department itself and the building bylaws. So some of the things that we find is a general plumber can be asked just to install a gas installation, which requires more detailing than water.
You mean water plumbers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Installing gas, pipes.
That's correct.
How does that happen?
Well, the client or the customer would not know better, and they just ask, "Oh, can you please install for me a pipe that goes from here to there?" And the plumber will gladly oblige and specific pipes to use. It's not the ordinary water pipe that you use. It's is a high grade and can be used for gas. And there are also other requirements that are needed, which is a long story to get into, but the Liquid Petroleum Safety Association of Zimbabwe can give you more information if you get hold of them.
So what is the danger in using the water pipes for gas installations?
Water pipe in itself, the ordinary water pipe, which you find in the hardware, some smaller hardwares, is not suitable because the wall thickness is much thinner than what we call half hard pipe, class 1, class 2 going upwards. That water pipe is very thin and can wear off over time and then causing leaks, which you don't want in an installation.
Oh,
yes.
That's quite interesting. Viewers, I'm talking to Ken Murray. My name is Robert Mandea. We are here on the platform behind the mic, and I'm standing in for Yvonne. I hope you're following the discussion and the conversation that is happening here behind the mic. Now, Ken, can you give us some examples of how improper installations of any application can cause danger to consumer operators?
So under normal circumstances, the dangers involved is when there's a leak, the obvious will happen, it's ready for a flame, and if any switches or any lighting of a match takes place within that unconfined area where the gas is leaking, you'll have an explosion. Also, the tendency to have consumers not being aware of how to use the appliance. All appliances come with manuals and they should be adhered to. Like receiving, when you light a match, for instance, you should light the match before the gas comes out of the burner. It should be ready, the gas should be ready to receive the flame, or the flame to receive the gas. That should be the requirement. Don't ever light a match and then turn the switch on. What happens is the gas will accumulate before you've lit that match. And in that circumstance, you're just waiting for a big explosion to happen in front of you. So some of the uses are specified in manuals. Go through your manual. If you are not sure, contact your retailer who sells you gas and get more information. These are trained and are licensed by ZERA, and they have the certificates to actually give you some advice for that.
Now, Kenny, have we had any instances or accidents caused by poor installations?
So absolutely. So we face a lot of different situations. I'll give you two in particular which are relevant in the case. One is the incorrect installation of termination of the gas appliance. So you've done everything, you've run your pipe, and coming to the appliance, the supplier will tell you, do not use thread tape. There are seals that you use, and after doing that, do the normal tests, which are required by normal technicians. After that, do a soap and water test, which is the simple one, and leave the client without proper testing. And we found sometimes that people get burnt, the gas will accumulate underneath the appliance, and when you switch on, it is a big explosion. Some people their hands have been burnt, and even as far as their face have been singed because of gas explosions. And this is just because they didn't follow the proper requirements by the manufacturers of the appliance. Then the second thing is that there are two types of gases mainly supplied around the region, which is natural gas and LPG gas, which we use here in the country. The difference is that natural gas is lighter, it goes up into the air, and LPG gas descends, it's heavier. Now, the scenarios we've had is not so much mainly about natural gas because we are not using it yet. The main issue is that the jets which are used on certain appliances for natural gas are bigger than LPG. So if you use LPG on these natural gas appliances, the flame is much bigger because there's a free flow into that jet. Some people have hurt themselves or their pots have been burnt because the heat that's coming out of there is much more than a controlled flame from an LPG jet. So using the right appliance and reading them through the manuals. So installers themselves need to understand their appliance and not just install, because half of the products that are coming from, we call our neighbor South Africa, for instance, are natural gas. They are using natural gas in South Africa. So some of the appliances are ready for natural gas, and they are equipped also for LPG. In the packaging that they have, you can change those jets. So if you do not understand the appliance, don't venture into giving anyone the job, especially even if it's a plumber that you trust. Just seek advice from the Safety Association of Zimbabwe, the LPG, and also the fire department in as far as well as ZERA. They will assist and guide you to the right place and to do the right thing.
Quite interesting. Now, do we have appropriate policies and standards on installations of gas appliances in Zimbabwe currently?
So in Zimbabwe, there isn't a clear chart for that. We still operate under ZERA. ZERA, who takes care of all safety and requirements for licensing, especially on the retail side. The domestic side, however, has got a long leg to follow. We are trying to get together as association, get groups of members who are part of the safety association to help policing these things. We don't want to see accidents through LPG. LPG gas in itself is a very hazardous product. And at the moment, we don't have policing, but there is a governing body which falls under ZERA. We want to support ZERA as an association and see how we can, because this is a growing market.
Thank you. Now, how can consumers and gas operators identify qualified installers should one require the services of an installer?
So as I said, the most simplest thing is to phone ZERA and get in touch with them and find out who they have licensed and who they can recommend. And if you have a particular product that has service technicians that are registered, follow them because they would have been trained and they understand their products and they understand the installations as well. As I said as well, that ZERA will then pass you on maybe to the Safety Association of Zimbabwe, who will then recommend those installers to you.
Thank you. Now, Ken, lastly, can you maybe give us your views or recommendations on
with gas, a clean product, a clean energy source, which is a very renewable. I feel that at this point in the juncture, if there are any questions, any doubts, follow them through. Don't take it for granted because there are ramifications for bad installations. We follow certain rules and regulations guidelining gas. Gas has been there for years. And there are bylaws our neighbors have. We are trying to affiliate ourselves with our neighbor. We've got issues with trying to get to regularize installers themselves, but identifying them is through the Gas Safety Association of Zimbabwe. You will get licensed people that have been trained, people that understand gas. Bylaws like simple ones that you must not put your bottles not less than 1 meter away from the window, not less than 1 meter away from the door, not less than 2 meters away from an open drain. As I alluded to you, that gas is heavier. If it gets into the drainage system, and if there's a match or a light at some point, there's going to be a big explosion. Be wary of these things. And if you need more information, drawings, you can post on the LPG Zim on Facebook, the Twitter handle as well, LPG Zim on the Twitter handle and so forth. And you will find information from there.
Thank you. Viewers, there you have it. I was talking to Kenny Murray, right? A qualified and certified appliances installer. He has been taking us through some of the issues and challenges that comes with unstandardized installations, whether it is industry or in the homes. Thank you for viewing. And my name is Robert Mandela. I'm standing in for Yvonne Mchaka, who is not feeling well today. The program brought to you by LPGSAZ. I hope you enjoyed and have learned quite a lot from the program. We meet again next week.